Hello, I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Want to talk about this wild new moon that we have on June 25th at 4 degrees of Cancer. And it's really bringing to fruition and culmination the beginning of the next version of yourself. And you have been like transforming and transcending and building up to this version of yourself for quite some time, like really since last November. But really going back even further, like I can say December 2020, May 2018, like this version of you has been in the works and in the making for a long time. And so now with this new moon in Cancer, it's really the beginning of your rebirth. And Cancer represents your moon. And when you are a child, you're in your moon, right? Your moon is your inner child. And so it's like your infancy, it is your emotional needs, it is how you learn to relate to the world. It is your emotional body, it is your internal foundations, it is your family, it is your ancestry. And really, like, the number one thing I would say I help people with is learning to love on and nurture their moon. And because the moon is the shit you go to therapy for. If I just explain someone's moon to them, like their entire life's like fucking makes sense, right? It's the entire reason I got into astrology was the astrologer explained to me my Gemini moon, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not fucking crazy. There is a method to my fucking madness. And we really, as a society, are walking around as wounded inner children. And this new moon is like the start of like your new beginning as like an emotionally mature adult, one who doesn't outsource your safety, one who knows how to make yourself feel like secure, right? You're coming from a place of secure and empowered attachment, who isn't operating from wounds, right? Who isn't operating from stress patterns, and really like isn't coming from a place of people pleasing or neediness or, you know, having self-doubt or feeling internally chaotic. Who lacks boundaries, who's insecure, who operates from shame or guilt, who feels unworthy, right? Like that version of you is your wounded inner child. And two, on the flip side, like the version of you that overthinks and overworks and overhustles and tries to control everything and is perfectionistic and is hyper independent, that is also your wounded inner child. So like all of these patterns and ways of operating that people think are like a part of their conditioning or like just like their personality or like it's just who they are. It's like, no, it's actually just coming back home to your heart and nurturing and taking care of your inner child. And what I see with clients is literally when we can learn how to meet their own emotional needs and they can come back into their body and into a place of safety, security, support within themselves, is every other part of their chart can then become expressed. And so it's like their personality shifts and their personality changes and they awaken to their heart's desires and they receive new levels of love and relationship and new levels of happiness, of joy. It's like their joy just naturally turns back on because you tended to this wounded inner child version of you who was just operating from a place of not knowing how to meet their emotional needs and just like needing the 3D to make them feel a certain way internally, but it's never about the outside, right? It's always about the inside, how you internally feel, and your internal world sets the tone and foundation for your 3D reality. So if you're not receiving the type of love you desire, if you're not attracting the caliber of relationships you want, if you're not having the types of fulfillment and success, you gotta look at your inner child because I guarantee you your inner child is running the fucking show and running the fucking program unconsciously. And your body is your unconscious and all of these programs are running from this wounded part of you that you actually just need to liberate and tend to so that you can just liberate your inner freedom, your inner joy, your inner love, your heart, and really just to step into like that shiny diamond, that shining star that you are here to be. And it's like, I'm on such a mission to liberate women's hearts, because when you can heal your heart and when you can come from a place of vulnerable self-expression and you operate from a place of love, that is the most healing frequency in the world. Like, I was actually reading something about there was a scientist, there was a doctor, right? His name is Dr. David Hawkins, and he said one person vibrating at the frequency and level of love counterbalances 750,000 people who are not. So that is actually how powerful it is for you to live from your heart. And this is what Cancer is about. It is about your inner heart. And what happens is if we didn't have our emotional needs satisfied, nurtured, supported when we were children, we close and block up our heart. And this is really when we come, and we come from those kind of wounded feminine energies of, you know, needing other people to make us feel secure. If you have like anxious or insecure attachment patterns, or you're avoidant, gotta look at your heart. If you're not fully able to express your authentic self, you gotta look at your heart. If you're not able to receive the love that you desire, right? If you're always overgiving and you're not fully receiving all of the love and the support that you desire, you gotta look at your heart. If you're not able to fully provide for yourself, you gotta look at your heart. If you don't attract in people who provide and support you, you gotta look at your heart. And you know, if you're not receiving and experiencing the levels of joy, of happiness, of fulfillment, you gotta look at your heart. And so Cancer is about the cycle, the emotional cycles of giving and receiving. So how able are you to meet your own emotional needs, and how available are you to receive? Confirmation, right? Because there are a lot of women who have really beautiful hearts who are not receiving the kind of love and support and joy and level of just like peace and like able to fully rest and relax, right? Because there is this wounded part of them who doesn't feel safe, right? And so it's really about reconnecting to this inner child part of you by learning how to self your own safety and nurture yourself in new ways, so that your authentic, natural part of you can just turn on. And, you know, it feels vulnerable to open your heart, and it can be painful and it can be emotional to liberate your heart, but it's so worth the work, because then you just get to tap into that feeling of feeling free, of authentic, of expressed. And from this place, life is a lot more fucking flowy and intuitive and easy. And, you really get to experience and feel joy in your everyday life. And when joy is like your natural frequency, life opens up for you in such profound ways, you know? And it's really like when you are connected to your heart, you land on people's hearts in such a different way, you know? Like, I was thinking about some celebrities. I was like, think about Taylor Swift, right? She is a Cancer moon. She really creates music from this like inner child place. And that's why I think her music is so resonant with people, right? Because she's expressing like her inner child that lands on the hearts of other inner child, right? It's like that feeling when you listen to her music and it's like, oh, you can feel the expansion in your heart, right? I was listening to ABBA before recording this video, and I was just like, think about that feeling when you're listening to ABBA. Like, you just immediately just feel loose and liberated and happy and free, and like nothing fucking matters in the world, right? And it's like tapping into that as your natural state. And when that is your natural state, life shifts in such profound ways, and you just become so magnetic. You know, and this is, and too, like I will say, that masculine energy shows up for you in an entirely different fucking way when you are operating from your heart. Like, men do the most for me, every single day because they can feel my heart. You know, like I walk into a room and people gasp, and I'm like, has nothing to do with my appearance. It has everything to do with like a woman who is in her heart and liberated in her heart is very fucking rare, you know? And so they can just feel my energy. They can feel my heart space. And I now feel safe enough to hold that light, because for so long, like all I wanted to do was hide and not be seen. You know, I had a lot of protective weight on my body. I wore sweatshirts every day to school. Like I always like hid myself. Like I didn't want to be seen. It was like I'm not even joking. My belly like didn't see the light of day until I was like 30 years old. Like no one ever saw my body until I was like 30, because I felt so unsafe to be seen, because my natural energy like holds a lot of light, right? It holds a lot of joy. It holds a lot of magnetism. And I was really tapped into this when I was younger, but then I didn't know how to make myself feel safe, make myself feel supported. I lacked boundaries, right? I was codependent. I was a people pleaser. I was disconnected from myself emotionally. I operated from a place of freeze, of survival, of unsafety, of scarcity, of lack. And all of that, like I literally was just like all coping mechanisms to hide my light, which when you're hiding your light, you're disconnected from your magic, right? And so I had to do all the work to really liberate that within myself by knowing how to meet my own needs, knowing how to make myself feel emotionally secure, and feeling safe to take up space, like healing those visibility wounds, right? And so, I mean, I literally just felt my emotions and lost 30 fucking pounds, right? Cancer represents those fleshy parts on your body, right, that grow when you're pregnant. It is your breasts, it is your like digestion, right? Like it's the it's like the being able to nurture yourself, like right, like when your body absorbs the digestion from the nutrients of the food, like it is like breastfeeding, right? It is like that oxytocin that women, we thrive on and we need in our bodies and our nervous system. But when you're disconnected emotionally, you're literally not giving your nervous system what it needs to feel safe and secure and provided for and nurtured. And so, you know, it's also like your ribs. You know, they say that a woman was created from a man's rib, right? Because the ribs are the protective bones that keep all of your important organs safe and protected, but it's also your heart, right? And so that's why women are like the protective energy, like the mother, right? The protective mother, like protecting the kids, but also protecting the family and protecting the man, because the woman is naturally attuned to, you know, can protect the man in a much more intuitive, feeling-based way than a man can. That's like literally like the woman's job, to really kind of protect the man, right? Not in like the way that a man protects a woman, but like from a spiritual place, right? That's why they say woman was created from the rib. That's why men, when they refer to you as your rib, it's because it's the mother, right? They're like referring to you as like my spiritual guide, like my spiritual protector, my feminine protector, right? And so there's like this embodiment of like the mother archetype, of the queen archetype, the goddess archetype with Cancer energy. But if your heart is closed, how are you going to be embodied in that energy? And so, you know, I always like go out into the world. I'm like, where's my heart at? But based on like how people treat me, how people perceive me, how people respect me. And I know that when my energy is on one, like the universe literally like rolls out the fucking red carpet for me, because I'm embodied in my light energy. And it is such a respected, revered, rare energy to be holding, right? And so it's about turning on that inner light within you so that things can just find you and things are attracted to you, things magnetize to you. And this is what allows you to come to your life from a very sovereign, powerful place, because you are not needy, right? You're not codependent. You're not a people pleaser, but you recognize and you see your value and you see your worth and you respect yourself and you're coming from a place of wholeness. That's the most attractive and magnetic energy that there is. And so all of those things, all of those people in your reality that used to relate to you from a place when you were in your neediness, when you, confirmation, when you were in an anxious attachment, when you were insecure, when you were overly emotional, when you lacked trust, right? When you were trying to control an outcome, all of that just ceases to exist because you're no longer vibrating at that level. And so healing your heart is so profound, and really nurturing yourself in new ways and knowing how to meet your own emotional needs will literally transform your life. Like usually when I, read someone's birth chart, there's one place in their chart that has a kind of stranglehold on the rest of their chart, which prohibits them from being a fully authentic human, right? Like I'll give an example of this for myself. Like in my 20s, I was in full fucking Sag energy, right? Like I have a Venus in Sag, I have a 9th house stellium, which is the house of Sagittarius. I was like one big like walking Jupiter, right? Like I was the life of the party. I had a larger than life personality. I traveled the world. I worked in broadcast. Like I was non-committal. I was avoidant, right? I was scared of intimacy, which is classic shadow Sag energy. But then if I was being true to my heart, I was like, but I would like love. I would like a relationship. But I didn't know how to meet my emotional needs. And so as a coping mechanism, all of my Sag energy just like took over my life, right? And now that I've learned to heal my moon and come into a place of intimacy with self, right? That's what intimacy is. Into me, I see. And knowing how to self-source my own safety and meet my own emotional needs and really nurture and love on and take care of myself in new ways, that Sag energy is so much fucking softer, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I'm still like a wild child underneath. I'm a good fucking time. I can still be the life of the party, but that's not my personality is so much more multifaceted, right? Like I can hold a relationship now. Like, you know what I mean? Like my Sag energy was so fucking strong that was the only place I was operating from, because it was a coping mechanism for me not meeting my own emotional needs and me not knowing how to make myself feel safe. So like I literally had an entire personality that was developed because I didn't know how to feel my emotions and make myself be that safe, secure, confident person. And so when I learned to heal myself, and when I came back to my center and really grounded into my body and into myself, like I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore because that personality was such a huge coping mechanism. And I was like, wow, I literally have to relearn how to relate to the world and to like really understand like who I am now that I'm not like performing, right? Now that I'm not scared to be seen, now that I'm not running, right? Like I was just describe myself as like the road runner, the legs who move 1,000,000 miles an hour. I used to have chronic restless leg syndrome. I used to be a chronic insomniac, chronic partier, because there was this part of me that was always internally running, chronic avoider, right? But it's like, oh, when I came back to my body and I was like, oh, I no longer have to run, right? As I was like, well, I'm like, what are you running from, girl? Like, what are you running from, right? And it was my inner child. My inner child was running. And so when I came back, it literally shifted my entire life because I had healed that part of myself that didn't feel safe in the intimacy with myself. And that's really what your moon is about, is learning that intimacy with yourself and knowing how to meet your own needs and how to be vulnerable and ask for your needs to be met and how to ask for support and how to receive and how to be in your joy, how to hold yourself in your joy, how to hold yourself so that you can become your authentic self, so that you can bloom and blossom into who you are born to be, how to come from a place of security with yourself so that you can attract like-minded, supportive relationships. And so I share all of that because this new moon in Cancer is really this like new starting point of this version of yourself that is so free and full of life and liberated and connected to her special, what makes her special, right? Like your inner child is that special part of you that is your source of magnetism. So it's like you have that inner superstar and that inner supermodel but you don't know how to liberate her, like this is what this new moon is about. It's like liberating your fullest potential and knowing how to meet your own needs in different ways, and really going bigger. Because what happens when we don't know how to meet our own emotional needs is our desires are filtered through survival, and so we're not able to like 10x our lives if we don't feel safe even like thinking bigger, because your brain isn't thinking bigger if you're just like, you know, worried about getting your needs fucking met. So it's like when you can self-source your own safety, you can zoom out and see the bigger picture, and that's how you become a woman with vision. And you're like, oh, I can actually, like, I was just really underplaying myself my whole life. I was really playing it small my whole life, right? And so, and it's like, well, I actually now feel safe in myself, and I can actually dream 100x bigger, right? Like I can envision my huge purpose. And it's really about connecting to your why also, because that is Cancer. Cancer is like motivated by its family, and the opposite side is Capricorn, right? So Capricorn, what happens is we really have such a Cancer imbalance in our society, because we have all these people who are successful, right? The Capricorn method of success, of having a big business, of having, you know, financial success, of all of this. But if it's disconnected from their heart, then it's never going to satisfy you, right? It's never going to fulfill you, because you missed the heart. You missed the why. You missed the fucking purpose. If you're not building, like Capricorns are successful because they're building for their families, right? They're building from their heart. They're building from their passion. And if you're disconnected from your heart, like you're going to have success and not be fulfilled because you were disconnected from your why. You're disconnected from your mission, right? Jeremy Renner, who is a Capricorn, successful man, right? He had that snowmobile accident a few years ago. Pluto was doing something to one of his Capricorn placements. Capricorn is about the bones. It is about your skeleton, right? It is that structure and support, like physically within your body. And he got in this snowmobile. It wasn't a snowmobile accident. Like I think like literally like one of those like snow plows like just literally plowed his body. And he was talking about how he broke all of like literally like all of his bones on his body besides his like spine, which narrowly escaping death, total death transformation, very Pluto. However, he healed himself in like 3 months. And like he was, I think he was like on Joe Rogan or something, and he was talking about his recovery. And he was like, the reason I healed so fast was because I was so motivated by my family. And I was like, that's a Capricorn on fucking purpose. Like I have full body chills, right? I was like, that is a man who is in his heart, connected to his mission, connected to his purpose, right? He was motivated by his family to recover that quickly because he wants to be there to provide and protect for his family, right? And so when you have a really big why and you're connected to your heart, miracles happen. Like he healed from this like crazy fucking accident in like 3 months, right? Because he had a strong fucking why. And so, but when you're disconnected from your heart, you're literally just operating from your fucking patterns of your past. And that's where Cancer gets caught, is they cling to what felt safe in the past, but what felt safe in the past isn't gonna get you to your big fucking purpose and success and mission. You have to be able to break out of your crab shell, right? Cancer's the crab. Know how to self your own safety in order to fully bloom and blossom into who you were born to be. And that looks like breaking free of the feelings of your conditioned past. And so when you can understand how to liberate your moon, meet your moon's needs, confirmation, you're literally free to bloom and blossom into whoever the fuck you are meant to be. And when you are operating from a place of love, this is when the universe opens up miracles for you, right? Because you just living in your heart, again, raises the fucking frequency of this planet. And so this new moon is the start of that new version of yourself who really, really, really gets to receive and manifest the life of your dreams and really go bigger, right? This new moon is conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter just ingressed into Cancer. And this next level version of you is gonna need new things from yourself. this new moon is also square this the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that we have been feeling all month. So if you have been emotionally triggered, if you have been tested, if you have been tried, if you've been emotionally beat down, it is because all of these old emotions, all of these old survival patterns, all of these old ways of being and operating had to be expunged from your physical body so that you can create your life from a new fucking feeling. And your feelings are everything to creating a life beyond your wildest fucking dreams. And truly, like, feelings are like the first thing, and then there's like a million other things that you can do. But if you haven't figured out the fucking feeling, your body gets so addicted to how it used to feel in the past, right? Your body is a hormone-making machine. Your body is addicted to cortisol, right? Like, I was explaining this to my friend the other day, and I was like, yeah, like, if women learned how to heal their nervous system and learned how to emotionally regulate, the economy would literally fucking collapse, because women are literally just online fucking shopping, trying to get a fucking cortisol hit, and women control 80% of the fucking purchasing power in the economy. I was like, if women literally knew how to meet their own emotional needs, like, the world would transform and cease to exist as we know it. And that is how powerful you taking back your fucking emotional power is. And I'm so passionate about teaching women how to do this, because you can connect to so much more love, so much more joy, so much more abundance, so much more happiness, so much more fulfillment in such an easier way when you open your heart. You don't have to operate from your fucking stress of your past. You don't have to be heartbroken by man after man and keep attracting the same patterns. You can go bigger. You can be bolder. You can take up fucking space. And really, life just becomes like, again, the universe just like rolls out the red carpet for you, and it's like your own fucking butler when you are operating from your divine feminine, because that is how powerful it is. I'm like, literally the universe just serves things up for you on a fucking platter, like you're the fucking queen in the castle and is waiting on your hand and foot. Like, that is how powerful you operating and being in your heart is. And your level of connection in relationship shift, your business shifts, your success shifts, your just happiness, your how you feel inside shifts. And that is the whole game. It's all an inner game. So it's all an inward feeling. You're always searching for an outward feeling, but it's like, no, just start from the inside. If you can feel happy and free within yourself first, you don't need the external shit, right? This is what Gucci sells you. You say it says Gucci is a feeling. I mean, I'm like such a Gucci girl. I love my Gucci, but like, it says Gucci is a feeling. It's like, yeah, but you don't have to wear Gucci to feel the feeling, right? You just feel the feeling, and then when you feel the feeling, you can manifest the fucking Gucci, right? It's like, that's just how it gets to work. And so I'm so passionate about helping women come back to their center, heal their emotions, and really liberate their hearts. And that is what this opportunity with this new moon is. And it's really about like resetting your life. You're being reborn to the woman that you are meant to become. And Saturn and Neptune in Aries is all about liberating your confidence, liberating your authenticity, being unabashed and unapologetic in who you are, like going for the fucking thing, taking up space, being like, I'm here, I'm seen, I'm here to like fuck shit up, like with my fucking energy. And then life just meets you there. So it's a really beautiful new moon if you've been doing the work, and it's a really beautiful reset, and I'm super excited about it. And so just wake up and really feel into how you want to feel every day. Blast that fucking ABBA, blast that fucking Taylor Swift, connect to who you were when you were when you were a little girl, when you were your inner child, whatever you like to do, and make that your most practiced frequency. And you just, if you get off center, just come back. If you get off center, come back, right? It's about in the moment to moment to moment, like, what are you feeling? If you're feeling stressed, you're missing the point, right? If you're feeling worried, you're missing the point. If you're feeling negative, just come back. Come back, come back, come back. And yeah, it's gonna be a really powerful time. So if you want customized, catered direction and support, you can book a one-on-one session with me. If you wanna learn deeper how to meet your own moon needs, that's a great place for you. I also have my Astrology 101 course, and I'm also enrolling in my one-on-one coaching and mentorship. So if you really want to do this deep work and transform this summer, and be unrecognizable come like September, that is the place for you. We're gonna shift your identity, heal your body, literally like liberate your inner child, shift your relationship patterns, to shift your success patterns, and really just connect to that confident, secure, unabashed, like lightning rod that you are meant to be, and really just liberate your stardom, the supermodel that's within you, right? I was telling one of my friends that I was like, I literally like liberated a fucking supermodel by doing the healing work. Like, hello, supermodel, superstar here. And so this is everything that I've had to do. I mean, I have Jupiter conjunct Chiron and Cancer in my chart. Like, this is literally my, like, what I'm meant to teach. Like, this is my mission. In my 6th house too. Like, it's like I literally had to heal and transform my body to be able to understand and hold space for this. So this is exactly the transformation that you can expect, turning into your most divine, feminine, embodied version of self, however that looks and feels for you. So if that interests you, jump into my one-on-one coaching, and happy new moon, my loves. Bye.